Hi, Rachel. Thank you so much for joining us on the Light Breakfast yet again. So, if for some of you who haven't don't know who Rachel is, she's a mom. She's also a child and family development specialist. And if you follow her on Instagram, you can see a lot of yummy food being cooked this MCO period.
Hi, thank you so much for having me back. I'm so excited. I
Well,
love
I
it.
see. Yeah, I see that you're cooking up a storm this MCO period. Do you
Not by choice.
not? But do you normally cook every day for your family?
So it's a mix on a regular basis. Usually most of the time I make dinners,
Mm.
but not every day, like maybe 4 times, 5 times a week. But
That's quite a lot of
That's quite a
day.
lot, yeah.
Yeah.
It's my way of dealing with the mom guilt. So I will come home and make dinner. I mean, if I'm really being honest, that's my way of like loving them back. They enjoy it, so I try to make dinner 4 times a week.
Mhm.
So, but generally that's about how much I cook.
But you
now
cook-
it's
yeah,
every single meal.
meal. Yeah. Breakfast, lunch, dinners for the past month.
Breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack, supper. It's never ending.
Do you think that you will still be cooking as much after this MCO ends, or it's like, let's just eat out for now?
Oh, like my husband and I have an agreement. Like as soon as this MCO is over, like the kitchen is closed for like a while.
So you're not enjoying it at all?
No, I love it, but it's very intense because if you're not cooking, you're cleaning. If you're not cleaning, you're cooking. If you're not cooking, you're prepping. If you're not prepping, you're cleaning. And in between that, I still have to work. So I would say it's a mix. We try to have fun with it, but it's still work. I mean,
Yeah. But it makes you it lets you pass the day at a much faster rate, doesn't it?
Yes, yeah. I mean, and honestly, we've had a lot of fun with it. So we've recreated some random recipes and just
Wait, what do you mean created some random like let's see what's in the pantry and then just come up with something?
Yeah, like let's see what's in the pantry. What happens if I put this together? I don't have this ingredient, maybe I can substitute it for this. How ambitious do I feel right now? If I feel very it's not so much how ambitious do I feel, it's more like how big is my craving right now. And so just trying to recreate recipes, and it's been really weird because like we've suddenly craved for stuff that we usually don't really crave for, but it's just maybe like because you can't have it, so you want it.
Okay. So where do you normally get your recipes from? Like, or do you mostly just experiment with your own recipes?
A little bit mixed. So my husband is American, so then I try to do like some Western, and I lived abroad for quite a number of years. So like I picked up, and I really like Southern American food. That's so American food, but from the South.
Yeah.
Not Southern American. And so a lot of our cooking is that kind of like homey, like Louisiana, like, just comfort food.
There are a lot of fried chicken?
Yeah. Just like jambalaya.
Or you cook up a pot of gumbo at home?
Yeah, like gumbo.
Really?
Or like,
Interesting.
bread pudding, that sort of like those kind of meals. I grew up Chinese, so there's a lot of Chinese. I grew up Chinese, but I was also, so every day when I was in primary school, I would go over to my teacher's house who was Muslim. So they're Malay. They adopted me. And so I have a very Malay palate. So we make like masak lemak or like asam pedas or tempe, paru, soup daging, that sort of thing.
Wow.
And yeah, we've attempted Indian a few times, but that stuff is hard. Like it's very complex. Like, so that would be one of the experiments that like, it's like a 50-50, like the other food, I feel like if I fail, I can still save it somehow. Indian is like, once you burn the mustard seeds, like there is no coming back from that. It's over, guys. Yeah, so that's, I mean, I would say recipes are mostly just, we have like kind of like a base of what we usually cook, and then
or whatever you like, basically.
Yeah, like whatever.
So that could be a masak lemak gumbo with dim sum.
Yeah, totally. Actually, that's like a lot of times my husband will have like for lunch we have like really easy food. So like I'll have like a fish soup, and then my husband will have like a sandwich or like pizza, or you know, like that sort of thing. Yeah, so it's, I mean, we're very intercultural muhiba. We don't discriminate.
Well, there's a diverse palette over there in your family. Right? Everything. But you know what? I'm always amazed that your daughter Ella Grace eats almost everything you put on the table, like from greens to fruits to meats to even, you say that her favorite are chicken feet.
Yeah, chicken feet, paru. What she asked? She's asked.
Your daughter eats paru? Really?
She's only 5,
paru.
okay?
Paru's like her favorite. There's this restaurant in this is like our #1 restaurant that we've missed. Is this like little Malay restaurant in near Damansara Padana, and they make this like fried paru, and that's her favorite. I've been trying to look for tempeh, but it's so hard to find tempeh. She likes tempeh. Yeah, she likes.
This is sambal hijau.
Yes, sambal hijau. Like. This is how bad it is. They know her by name.
Yeah.
Sambal hijau, and the other one's bawang merah in Subang Jaya.
Right.
So she walks in, and like the ladies are like, "Hey, Ella sudah sampai," and like, and you're just, because she stands out, right? She's like that weird kid that wants to eat like the weird stuff that nobody else eats. But yeah, I know it's been great. Like, yeah, we started her since she was young, and that's, you know, as a child family development specialist, one of my big workshops is called Food Wars, and it's just teaching your kids to eat authentically, wholly, from scratch, and appreciating food. It's not so much like you have to eat this because blah 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 blah. It's just really, she's a foodie at heart. Like, I wish you could see her face when like she approaches food. It's but not in like an obsessive way. She just really appreciates it. She appreciates the chef. She appreciates the time that goes into it. She appreciates the farmer that has grown it. And so that's really our philosophy that we've tried to take with her.
Wait, how old is she again?
She just turned 5. So she turned 5 during MCO.
Yeah, I see. Happy birthday, Ella Grace, the banners.
Oh, yeah. Well, this is the sweetest thing. Our neighbors, so we've been under lockdown, and really, really strict lockdown, because she has a chronic condition. And so very, very strict. Like, we've not left the doors. And so for her birthday, I mean, I could cry as a mom. Our neighbors, so we have a balcony that overlooks our swimming pool. And they all just came out and like social distance themselves and sang happy birthday from the balcony. They were like, come out to the balcony, and they all sang happy birthday to us. And then they dropped off, you know, like my little foodie, they dropped off lemons and apples and like just, you know, luxury items during MCO. Because, you know, when you're like sending, because, you know, we can't go out grocery shopping, so we haven't left the house. And so when you are making your list for like the grocery guy, you know, it's like you can pick like 10 items, right? So like things like lemons are like, you know, luxury item. Bell peppers are like luxury item. You got to get the ayam first, and the, you know. So that the
essentials really, first, yeah.
Essentials first, right? The flour, like, yeah. So it's been quite, I would say it's been very special time for us.
Yeah.
But I think it's really your mindset, right?
Mm-hmm. But let's get back to, how did you teach Ella Grace to be a foodie, to appreciate her food, you know, from such a young age? She's only 5. I mean, she's eating chicken feet and paru. I mean, like, I can't even get my daughter at 9 to eat meat.
I think honestly, it's your approach. I think it's your approach to like for us, it's we enjoy food and we enjoy, and I think more so than anything, it's the mealtime culture. So for us, we've never really forced her to eat anything. We create mealtime as a welcome, as a respite. So mealtime for us is sacred. It's time to connect. We put our phones away. We really take time to prepare the food. And I think more so than anything is we've never ever sort of said, this is chicken feet, you shouldn't eat it. Like, we've never sort of said like, try, take one bite, ha ha ha, you know? It's just in there. And honestly, like her favorite food a lot of the time is stuff that we love. So my husband and I have this joke where I'm like, I need to stop teaching her to eat all my favorite stuff, because now I have to fight my 4-year-old, 5-year-old for like my favorite foods. Because they really just they follow your cue.
Okay.
So I would really say, to teach little ones to eat new food is, do you even serve it? Or do you say, this is not for kids, so I won't even put it on a plate for her? A lot of times that's what we do. Okay. Or they take a bite of it and then it's weird and they don't like it. And so we say, no need to eat lah, you know, or they don't like it, you know, like my husband likes this vinegar. They serve it during confinement. It's like vinegar pork trotter kind of thing. Trotters. And like, you know, his entire life he's never eaten it, like much less seen like pork trotters. Like he's like, to them it's like they only eat like filet, but it's all pretty, like they don't like even the bones in fish, you're like, what is this? But like that's one of his favorite dishes, and it's just because we have it at the dinner table and they take bites and they enjoy it. And you know, we've never said, oh, you shouldn't eat this because it's like feet. You shouldn't, you know, like circle, no judgment here.
Okay. But what if you serve it? Like for my son, I serve it and I urge him to try, you know, but he still wouldn't try anything new.
So there's two things around that. One of the big things that we do, and one of the big things that I teach too, is it's called a no thank you bite. Okay. And so our philosophy behind that is that there are some things that like Ella Grace will eat, and it's like really weird. Oh, she doesn't like mushy textures. So she'll eat chicken feet, but she hates mashed potatoes. Like she thinks mashed potatoes is like made of the devil. So, but what we do say is that her dad loves mashed potatoes, so we don't take it off the menu. So, you know, because she doesn't eat it, that's not fair to other people that we don't make it. But I'm not going to make another meal for you, because that's Mama only has so much energy to make one meal. So Mama's only going to make one meal. What we do say is that she does have to take a no thank you bite. And so what that means is that, one, I respect that after the no thank you bite, if she gags through it and she's like, look, like that is really nasty, Mama. And I say, okay, I respect that. You took one bite, you're done. Right? So I don't go back on my word, because like sometimes what we do is like, oh, they ate the one bite, so we're going to try to sneak somewhere in. Right, that's completely unfair, because then the next time we're like, I'm not even going to take one bite, because like last time I took one bite, it became 10 bites. Yeah. The second part of it, and the more important part of it, is again our approach and our mindset. So we tell her, we do this because we honor the food that is there. We don't want to waste, but most of them we honor the chef. We honor the hands that have prepared this meal. So you're taking this as a sign of respect, right? That somebody has taken an incredible amount of time to love on you and make this meal for you. And so we take one bite, and we always say it's okay if you don't like it. You know, because we don't want her to just like stuff her feelings, right? We want to say, you know, take a bite. And when she does take the bite, normally we say, and she loves it. Sometimes she'd be like, because sometimes it looks weird and I don't want to try it. And she ends up loving it. Then she'll even say it back to us. She's like, yeah, if you don't try it, you never know. And so what we always say is like, you know, you try it, maybe you'll like it, maybe you won't. And if you don't like it, that's okay. And the other big thing about that is also when you're taking your no thank you bite is making sure that like, so if she doesn't like mashed potatoes, I'll be a very good example of this. I didn't like pineapples. Is there any food that you have discovered that you like as an adult that you didn't like as a kid?
Durian.
Durian. And it's because you've been exposed to it again and again, right?
Yeah.
Maybe your husband eats it or your in-laws eat it.
Oh, my husband hates it, but my in-laws love it. Yeah.
Because your husband has good taste.
I didn't eat much durian when I was younger, but now whenever anyone buys durian, I'm like, give it to me.
Yeah, and that's the theory behind the no thank you bite. You expose them again and again and again and again and again, and eventually, sometimes they start liking. Because actually, for little kids, it can take up to like 30 bites for them to decide whether they like it or not. A lot of times what happens with babies is they'll try the first bite and they always make a face because it's a texture, it's a taste that they're not used to. It's sour, it's salty, it's sweet, it's all these different things going on, and they're making a face. It doesn't mean that they don't like it, just means that they're exploring with it. And so that's the theory behind the no thank you bite.
Okay.
So you got to respect them that they actually give it a go. It's a one and done bite,
Yes,
one and done try.
No thank you bite. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, because there are some foods that I don't like, but when I was young, so I have asthma, so my grandma would always make me eat like all these sort of like awful concoctions, all these like midwife tales, and you're just like, really, like, what am I going to eat now? And so I remember as a child being forced to eat stuff that I didn't want to eat, right? And like how awful that tastes is. So it's like, why do I want to subject my child to this? Because that's exactly how she feels about mashed potatoes or whatever it might be. So, honoring that she's allowed to feel, but then also saying that, like, one bite and you're done. And sometimes.
So in Belle's case, so if Dylan doesn't like to eat vegetables now, and then try just a carrot, and then if he doesn't like it,
even try though. I don't know how I can get him to even try one.
Hide it, mash it up, and hide it.
So if we take carrots for example, right? So
broccoli.
Broccoli. One of the really big things that we also teach with children is broccoli or carrots can be served in multiple ways, right? You can grate it, you can cut it, you can make long spears, you can steam it, you can
mix it into mashed potatoes.
Yeah, you can do, but that's the thing that we don't do. We don't hide food.
All right, okay.
Because that's a problem with puree a lot of times.
You don't know what you're eating.
Yeah, you don't know what you're eating, and then when you look at it, you're just sort of like, that's not a carrot. I'm not used to carrot looking like this. And then like now you said, but carrot's your favorite. I'm like, yeah, I'm used to carrot being mashed into lots of different foods all at once. And so serving food for exactly what they look like. Having said that, we also make it a nutritious bite. So like in our pasta sauce, we put a bunch of stuff in it because you want, like, if you're only going to take one bite, you want that one bite to be really nutritious, right? That's for like parents with kids that like may not eat in a big portion. Yeah, so like with Dylan, like a lot of times what we do with Ella Grace, we talk about the rainbow. We talk about why it's important to eat the rainbow, why it's important to eat different colors. But we don't talk like, we don't say carrots have beta carotene and vitamin A and vitamin K1.
Yeah, they don't care.
Carrots have a superpower, it helps you see at night. So orange food. So Ella Grace will very frequently say, green, mama, I need more greens because it makes the soldiers in my body fight stronger. Because, with coronavirus, that's how we've explained it to her, allowing children to take ownership over things. So with coronavirus, it's not so much, here's a scary virus, I'm going to scare you into washing your hands. Instead, I'm going to say, here's a scary virus. What are some things we can do to help protect us against the scary virus? We can wash our hands. We can eat stuff to build our immune system. So instead of immune system, we explain it as the little soldiers in your body that keep you strong and healthy and safe.
So Belle needs to tell Dylan that eating carrots will help his little soldiers.
Yes. Well,
I will try.
Or like, does he like superheroes?
Yes, he does. Yeah.
So like, it gives you superhero powers because it helps you see better at night.
Yeah.
Little things like that, which, you don't want to lie. So you don't you always want to be honest, but talk to them in a way that's age appropriate. Talk to them in a way that I want to be interested in, you know.
I'm so glad we had Popeye when I was younger, because Popeye was easy. Kids don't even like Popeye nowadays.
They don't even know who Popeye is. Okay?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Fish, you know, a lot of times what we tell her with fish is the fish helps your brain grow. Like, which kid doesn't want to grow up bigger? All want to grow, right?
Yeah.
But not, I think also being very careful around mealtime. When I say our mealtime culture is just about hanging out with each other, it's really about hanging out with each other. So we don't there's no a lot of pressure to see how much she ate or how much she didn't eat. There's no rewarding. There's no yay, she ate a bite!
Okay.
Right? And then, so what happens from that is, then it's not intuitive. So when they eat, they're like praise junkies. They want the praise. It's not so much I'm eating this because I enjoy this and I really tasted it and it felt good and I want to eat it again the next time.
So if they spit it out?
It's okay. It's okay if they spit it out, but they've tried it.
Right.
But do we have to then cook another item for the child to eat, you know, because they spit it out?
So what we do in our house is, I remember I said I only make one meal. Like because you know what, you're not, or at least I think on a child and family development specialist level and also on a very real mom level, like I am not her maid. Like I am not her short order chef. Like this is not, I mean, like if I had to cater to everybody's meal palette, like this is going to be over. What we do is a traffic light plate. So a traffic light plate is red, yellow, and green, right? So red is food that I know that she doesn't like mashed potatoes. Yellow is food that so a traffic in a plate. Yellow is food that I know that she's like, she'll eat, but she doesn't love it. Fish. So fish is one of those where she's like, I could eat it, but it's not my favorite. And then green, she loves greens. She loves vegetables. So that's the stuff that I know she'll definitely eat. So that's her traffic light plate. So I'll serve it to her all in one plate, and it's up to her to decide how much she eats and how much she doesn't eat.
Yeah, I know why Belle's concerned, because we have a colleague who doesn't eat vegetables at all. Are you worried that Dylan's going to be like Hannah?
Well, not really. I mean, if you sort of serve it in a different way, recently, my mom did fried rice and had some beans in it, beans and carrots, and then he just ate it because it was yummy. But I mean, if you let him see that there are green stuff in his plate, he won't want to touch it at all.
I think also, so with that, you know, your chart has sort of gone like this. Bring it back, right? So making small changes. So, you know, when he ate that fried rice, I would say, you really enjoyed your fried rice today. Do you know what's in your fried rice? It has beans and carrots in it. I know usually you don't like beans and carrots, but they tasted pretty good today. And that's it. That's all I wouldn't lecture anymore. I wouldn't oh my gosh, you did such a great job.
Then you're going overboard, right? Yeah.
Yeah, right. Then the next time they'll use it as a weapon. So they'll either use it as oh, look, mama, I ate my beans and carrots. I'm amazing. Now, what are you going to do for me?
Give me something.
Or you've made me mad. I used to eat my beans and carrots because I want to tell you how upset I am with you.
Oh.
And the other thing I was going to say about having to correct. I lost my train of thought. Sorry.
It's okay. but I mean, I see that you get Ella Grace involved a lot in
yes, that was it.
Not only your cooking process, but also what would you like to eat today, right? Does that help, giving them options, getting them involved?
Absolutely. So what I would say is letting him peel the carrots, letting him cut the carrots, letting him grow the carrots, letting him go to the grocery store and pick the carrots, you know, introducing, involving them is a huge part of it. Right now we're growing bean sprouts because we have a big craving for Ipo Sahofan.
That's Belle right there.
Yeah, but bean sprouts are one of those where it's so anything that so we haven't really eaten anything that's raw that we buy from outside or that that can germinate. And so I was like, surely we can look this up. And so every day she's checking out our bean sprouts and she's involved in it. And I know that she's going to try it.
She's never had bean sprouts before, or
she likes bean sprouts, but it's a yellow. So it's like she'll eat it, but it's like not her favorite, but yeah, it's like, she likes greens.
Okay.
Yeah. The other thing, when you invite participation, also think about like, is your kitchen accessible to them? So like for us, we're making sure for her, we set up wins for her. And I think we've talked about this the last time.
Yeah.
So making sure when you set up wins for your child is, so in the fridge, she usually has fruit boxes prepared already. So, think about us as adults. We want to pick what's fast and easy, right? A bag of chips is pretty easy.
Yeah.
Cookies are pretty easy. But if I have a box of cut up fruit already, and it has to be cut up. So a lot of times people say, oh, but like she knows I will cut up for her anytime. And I know, but like for me, even as an adult, you're like, are you going to pick the one that you still have to cut and clean and wait? Or are you going to just pick the bag of chips because it's a lot easier? So making sure like setting them up for wins in that sense. Setting up like, so in the pantry, she also has snack boxes. And like she's got like some granola, some biscuits, some random seaweed, so like you have a choice. So freedom within boundaries. Remember we talked about that the last time. So the boundaries is, I'm going to set this up. I'm going to decide what's in there.
Yeah.
She has the freedom within to choose, but does she even have that choice? Is it accessible? Am I setting a win for her? So like for Dylan, it might be putting like little carrot sticks, right? And maybe
that will be the day if he eats carrot sticks.
So carrot sticks,
I don't eat carrot sticks.
There might be a dip that he likes, that he wants to eat the carrot sticks with, or it's cutting out the carrots in different shapes, but letting him cut it out. I'm sure he would love to do that.
Yes. Actually, I figured this morning, like, because he normally likes his cheese sandwich, but I have to cut out shapes for him.
Yeah.
But if I just give it to him in squares, he won't. He will just eat the cheese. He won't eat the bread.
Yes, of course.
He has to, and if he helps me, he will finish it most of the time. So I figured that out as much. Yeah. But it's such a bother to have a child in the kitchen with you, and you have to do everything afterwards, like all the cleaning up that you need to do afterwards.
So again, you set up wins for your child. You also set up wins for yourself. So what can I get her involved in that is going to let her not give me a big mess? What are some rules that we need to have?
Okay.
Around it? Or even like, so the other thing that we've done now, I think it's like sikit-sikit lama-lama jadi bukit, Okay. You teach her little things now, and it's really hard now, but like she's 5 and she makes her own breakfast, which is amazing. But was there along the way a lot of like pain and heartache and like broken eggs on the floor? She broke 20 eggs on the floor the other day, and I was like,
whoa. No.
It was an accident, and accidents happen, right?
Yeah.
But that also means for 7 days of the week, I don't have to get up very early because she makes her own breakfast.
Interesting. Hopefully we will get there. Now let's move on. I noticed though, a lot of children, I think until a certain age, even 13, 14, they prefer to eat more carbs, like rice, pasta, bread, potato. Is that okay, when they're still young?
I'm 36 and I love carbs. Yeah, absolutely. So this is a myth that people actually don't realize, that kids actually need carbs, lots of carbs in their diet. Because that's what, so when we explain carbs, when we explain white food to Ella Grace, we say it helps give her energy to play and run and dance. So carbs are not a bad thing. The thing that you do want to do is that, you have, remember, freedom within boundaries. So you have a choice to say, what kind of carbs are you serving? Whole fruit, nutrient-rich carbs, whole wheat, She loves oatmeal in the morning, so we have steel cut oats in the morning. And so making little choices. If you're going to do bread, can you do whole wheat bread? You want to also balance their fiber. So with very little children, so if they're one, I wouldn't do whole wheat because that's too much fiber for them.
Now let's move on to our next question. Now I understand that Ella Grace actually has a medical condition and may require different kinds of, nutrition to sort of nourish her body. What advice will you give to parents with children who might have a medical condition or an allergy to get them to eat well, or eat specific foods that they are allowed to eat,
So a big thing, I'm laughing because she just did this yesterday. She has, so she can have limited amount of dairy, but she can still have dairy. So the other day I was making something and I was on the phone with someone and I said, yeah, you can choose to have this or this or this. And she said, well, yeah, but I can't have that much dairy. So, because dairy is not so good for me. And I just thought that's brilliant. That is respectful parenting at play. So a big way of doing that is letting them take ownership of it. So she explaining to her, not just taking it out of a diet, but explaining to her why we take it out of a diet, or how it makes it, helping her notice how her body feels when she eats those things. So with her, she gets like a really awful rash. We were doing, she has to take daily medicines, and we ran out of applesauce. So what we did was we started, and it has to be mixed into food. So it's one of those medicines that like, it's not water soluble. So you can't eat it straight up because it's literally powder and it's like awful, like you just gag through it. And so as we mix into something, and usually we mix it into applesauce, and we ran out of applesauce. And remember how I told you, like in my MCO list, like applesauce was very hard to find.
Luxury, yeah.
Yeah, luxury item. And so we started giving it to her with her ice cream. Like we gave her a spoon of ice cream, and so I was like, a little ice cream isn't going to hurt. Well, we are in week 7 now. So like one intense week of ice cream every day, she started breaking out into rashes because of all the dairy. And so she was like, Mama, I think no ice cream today. I think we need to look for something else. And so what she did was she mixed it into peanut butter and jam. So she made like a little peanut butter jelly like concoction.
Interesting.
That was again a really good way of her taking ownership over her conditions. Noticing how her body feels when she eats those things, noticing how, having conversations about it, and really acknowledging when they say, but I really wanted to have that, and saying, you really wanted to have that. Having those hard conversations, because a lot of times I think as parents, you feel so guilty that they can't have that, right?
Yeah.
You feel so guilty, and you feel like and you're like, and on some level, you also, as a mom, you're just like, did I do that? Like, what did I do to give her this condition?
It was my fault, right? Yeah.
My fault. Maybe it was something I ate when I was pregnant.
Yeah.
Maybe it was like I like walked too near the microwave. All lies, by the way. So my daughter also has a heart condition, and then you're just like, maybe I didn't eat enough hearts when I was like what did I do? Like, how did I do this? Or
you have
like
to eat more hearts? Oh my God. That's quite scary.
Just like me.
Uh-huh.
That's like, and our asthma is pretty bad, and it gets triggered by processed foods. Certain foods just like really triggers it, and you can see like both of us will start like, so we cheat all the time, and we have it every once in a while. And we notice how our bodies feel, and then and talking about it, but it's not restricting, because if you restrict, they're going to find one way or another to have it.
Yeah.
And so the reason why I told you the asthma story is because, for me, it's hereditary. Asthma, eczema, all this like skin conditions. And so it's like, it literally came from me. So then it's realizing also like dealing with that guilt as a mom. And then talking to her about like what I do as when I have to deal with my allergies. Really giving them ownership over it, I think, is so powerful.
Okay. Now, what is your philosophy when it comes to nutrition for children?
Everything also can lah.
Everything in moderation.
in
Well, that
moderation.
is my philosophy as well. Yeah.
Yeah, everything in moderation. Eat the rainbow. You try your best. Teach them about what they're eating. It's about the mealtime, not about the food. I think that is something that gets so missed. And we're Malaysians. We're all about the makan, right?
Yeah.
We don't give that to our kids. Like, look at a kid eating their first meal, and the entire family just watches the kid eat. Right? And I like that does not feel good. Immediately, I associate eating as a performance, and
Yeah.
that's how it is start.
Yeah. We're guilty of that still. I think we let the kids eat first and then only we eat.
Yeah, and like, who wants to eat alone? Have you guys, like, when you eat alone, it's never fun. And so let's eat together as a family, because then what they're gonna do is they're gonna look forward to eating to meal times.
Yeah.
Meal times when like mom and daddy put their phones away, they're really checked in, they're really present, they talk about like fun things we got to do.
Okay. Since you've been cooking up a storm, is there a foolproof recipe that you can share with us that is a balanced nutrition meal that most children will like?
One of my favorite, like, we call it kacang mama hacks on my Instagram. One of my favorite kacang mama hacks, like, is we always have like those tortilla wraps in our fridge, and we always have frozen shredded cheese. And so you can always make quesadillas. It's so easy to make. You just put it on a pan, put the wraps, put the cheese, cover it, and you're done. Like, toast it and you're done on the pan. And because I'm kacang mama, sometimes we add some frozen chopped spinach. Sometimes we add ground beef. Sometimes we add veggies. Sometimes we add chicken. Sometimes we add leftovers from last night. There's always different interpretations that you do. I remember Ella Grace is so she can have a little bit of dairy, but not too much dairy. So if the cheese is bothering her, we put hummus in it, or we can put sometimes, what do we do? Yeah, we do hummus, we do pesto, just different variations of whatever that but like the wraps, because it's toasted and it's warm, it's always a hit. And so the other big kacang mama hack is like, you cut it into bite-sized pieces. So I think a lot of times parents don't think about how you're serving stuff, so that you want it to be like easy to eat. Portion sizes are also so important. Kids and adults, your stomach is the size of your fist. So a lot of times we say, oh, my kid's not eating very well, because you've given them like a giant bowl of porridge and asked them to eat that, and they're full. They're literally full. And you'll notice that with a lot of kids, when they start throwing a tantrum, it's because they've told you, I'm full, I'm done, at least 5 times already. And like at the 5th time, that's when they take the bowl and just throw it across the room, in case you didn't notice. I was full. Or they're sitting on the high chairs, or they're like running out, because they do tell you in multiple ways. It's just whether you're paying attention or not.
Again, it's all about respect, right?
Respect, yes. So I did want to give you this gift before I ran away.
Okay.
And it's just this. So I am the queen of acronyms, because I'm a mom and I have mom brain. And so the only way I can remember anything is through acronyms. If you're listening to this is a time, this is the goal. This is where you take your pen and paper and you write this down. And it's just rainbow. So R is eat the rainbow. Right? So as many colors as you can, explain the rainbow as little soldiers that come to fight and what they are, not necessarily in a way that's age appropriate. A is allow choices. So traffic light plate. You can eat as much as you want, but I have freedom within boundaries. You can have this or that. I choose what your this or that is, your breakfast boxes, your snack boxes, your fruit boxes. We don't hide food. So always allow choices. I is invite participation. So menu planning, grocery shopping, preparing, cutting your little cheese sandwiches together, growing green sprouts. gardening, urban gardening. This is a great time to start a balcony garden because that's all you can. You have all the time in the world now to do a balcony garden. Making sure your kitchen is accessible. So learning towers. Learning towers are little stepping stools that are strategically made for little children to be able to help out in the kitchen because there's a guard to make sure that they don't fall over.
Okay.
That's very, very important. So making sure that you are safe while you're doing that. N is a no thank you bite, which we talked about. So just, they only have to take one bite. And we do it as a sign of respect to the chef, to the hands that prepared this, an appreciation. No thank you bite is also because if you don't try, you don't know. And that will also lead them to a lot of things down the road where it's just, let's try this idea. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. That's okay. But at least we tried it.
Mm-hmm.
Or it might work and it'll be amazing. Right? B as bring it on. We sort of talk about this and it's just to have fun. So in our house, when it's non-MCO, it's 90% like whole foods, great foods, amazing foods, healthy foods, 10% fun. But during MCO, it's like more like 80-20, 10 being the wine. So 80-20 because usually what we say is you keep your house as sacred as possible and then all their fun comes from the outside, right? Like their fun foods and all stuff, but we still want to have moderation in the house. When I say bring it on, like you allow them to have chocolate, allow them to have the fun stuff the other day, but then also being like kacau mama about it. So, I'm going to make a banana bread. I'm going to add some chocolate chips in it because I love chocolate chips in it, but maybe I'll add some chia seeds in it too because I'm going to make the bite nutritious. I made some homemade organic berry jam the other day because she loves peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And I was like, oh, I'll make the jam, then at least it'll be healthy. Well, she didn't touch it because there was not enough of sugar in it. So she was like, that's terrible, Mom. Like that is sour and awful and like nobody can eat it. So what I did with it yesterday was I made oatmeal bars with it. I'm surprised everybody ate it. So, I made it into a dessert. But it's still relatively healthy, right? Okay. So bring it on just means like letting them have Maggie meat, but watching out for choking hazards. Always one pot wonder. This is your hack for like MCO, which means that like your kids are allowed to eat leftovers. Like a lot of times people are like, they think that you have to make a new meal every meal. Like people go insane trying to do that. But more so than that, one pot wonder is like your best friend as a mom. So like I make like a huge batch of pasta sauce. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to freeze some pasta sauce later to make pasta and spaghetti meatballs for an easy night. Mm-hmm. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take that same pasta sauce and layer it and make lasagna and freeze it, and that's going to be another meal. Then I'm going to take the leftover pasta sauce with the leftover bechamel sauce, mix it together, and put it with some pasta, and now it's a creamy pasta bake. Freeze it again, and then I'm going to add some beans to my pasta sauce and some cumin and maybe a bit more meat, and I'm going to call it chili. I'm going to crack an egg in it in the morning, and I'm going to call it shashtuka. I'm going to put the pasta sauce over some toast and cheese, and we're going to have like loaded toast. Yeah. Right.
Okay. But this is like pasta sauce. But can we do Chinese? Can we freeze Chinese?
Yes, Tao Yu Bak is great. Like I'm trying to think like Tao Yu Bak, fried rice. I freeze a lot of veggies. So like when veggies come, I freeze it so it makes an easy meal for me to cook with just fish soup. Like I told you about the fish soup. The other saucy, anything saucy, you can always freeze the sauce and then add the protein later or add the veggie later. So yeah, lots. I also freeze rice. This is like college survival skills, guys. Curry.
Yeah, but so a lot of the older folks, the older ladies, it's like, oh no, you can't take stuff that are from the freezer. It's not good. It's unhealthy, especially not for the kids.
My house, my rules. Survival. So the other thing about the pasta sauce, it becomes pizza dough. Like so then the base of the pizza, which kid doesn't like pizza? And if you don't even want to make pizza dough, you use tortilla wraps.
Yeah.
So 1.1, and the last one is W, which is welcome. And this is the most important. If you forgot everything else, W is welcome, which means your table always needs to be welcoming. It's always about the mealtime, never about the food. That's it. It's a rainbow. Mealtime as a culture.
Nice. Thank you so much, Rachel, for sharing that with us. I'm gonna try all these new tricks with well, they're not really tricks. They're actually quite useful tips on my son. Yeah.
Yeah. No. So like I would say like the
Maybe
carrot,
even on Danny, because I mean, is there an age limit like when you can't feed them anymore?
Are you also like that? Like, you know, when he first came, he was like, he didn't eat a lot of Asian food, but now I think now we've like officially made him Asian, that he craves Asian more than he craves Guaylo food now. But I was gonna say, so with like Dylan, with the grated with the carrot, so a carrot stick, instead of a whole carrot stick, you grate a small piece of carrot, so it's not overwhelming. Again, you don't want it to be overwhelming.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Tempura it, man. Deep fry it. Everybody likes tempura.
Banana bread. We did grated carrots in banana bread the other day and made like carrot cake banana.
Interesting.
Okay, well,
Great. Now I'm hungry again.
Trucking. It's 2 more weeks. Looking forward to more interesting recipes from you on your Instagram.